In this video, we'll be looking at how to import data from different sources, which could be web, a folder, an Excel workbook, databases, or PDF. We'll also look at how we can input data manually into Power Query. Alright, so what is importing data in Power Query? It's like you bringing a file or a table into a special workspace to be tidied up before you can run your analysis. Let's look at how we can import data from multiple sources into Power Query in Microsoft Excel.
Alright, so we're looking at how to import data from different data sources. Different files from different data sources. So currently I have some data here on my system. So I have them, they are Excel files, CSV files, I have some queries too. So for us to import these files, don't forget I told you for you to launch your Power Query, you have to, import the data into it to do it. So in your data tab, inside the get and data transform data group, you see different options. We have the get data command, from text/CSV command, from web, from text range, from recent sources. So if I click on this get data, it gives me different options of sources to get my data from and the kind of file to get. So it's telling me, do you want to get from file, a file like files on my system, are they Excel, is it Excel file or text or CSV? CSV means comma separated values, and these data that are separated by commas, or from XML, from JSON, from PDF, from a folder on your system, or from SharePoint folder. Or you want to get data from databases. That's for companies that store their data on cloud. You want to get data from cloud, Azure to still on cloud, from online services. You want to get from other sources like from either table range, from the web, or from SharePoint list, down to do you want to just paste in a query, in a blank query, or you want to combine your queries together. So this command for get data contains different options to get different files from different data sources. This we have the command for text/CSV. It means you want to get just CSV files. From web means you want to get files from the web. From table or range means you want to get data from a table or range here in your Excel workbook. Recent sources, that's if you already imported data into Power Query before, then ask, do you want to still import data from that source, or you want to create get data from existing connections. So the data I want to import into Power Query is an Excel file. So I'll just click on this. When I hover around it, I get to see other options of the files I can import. I want an Excel file, so I'll click on Excel file. Then here, this is the data I want to. I'll just click on this and hit import. So we have this navigator dialog box here, and I'll just preview the data to see what my data looks like. I'll hit this button and it shows me how the data looks like. So for you to select this, I'll just check this box, select multiple items, check this also. Then we have different options here to either load in your data or to transform your data. So loading in means you want to load directly into Microsoft Excel. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to clean or transform the data. But it's advisable that anytime you want to do your analysis or you want to load in data into Microsoft Excel, it's advisable that you transform them. Why? Because you don't know if those data needs to be cleaned before you can start running analysis on them. So it's advisable that you first hit the transform button to load them into Power Query and check if it needs to be cleaned, then clean it or change data type or do anything you want to do to it before you load it into Microsoft Excel. So I'll click on transform data, processing the queries. Then I have my Power Query editor pops up, and here you can see the data we just imputed here. So I'll rename this. Let me just rename it Excel file so that I can differentiate it from other files I'll be loading into Power Query. Excel file. Okay, so the next data I want to import into Power Query is a CSV file. Remember I said CSV file are comma separated values. So let's look at this data here. I have some data in this folder They are both data modeling, data model, but are different. They are saved in different formats. This data here is saved in CS. You can see Microsoft Excel comma separated value files. Then this one is saved in Excel workbook. If I hover around it, you get to see the name that it's Microsoft Excel worksheet, right? And also another way you can differentiate is when you look at the icons, you see this is holding a letter A into the CSV file, and you can see this is not holding letter A, just line like. So this shows that this is an Excel file. So let's also see why this file here is a CSV file. Let's open this data using my notepad. You get to see that the data are separated by commas. So your delimiter could not only be comma, it could also be colon, hyphen, it could be semicolon, it could be dash, anything, any character at all can be your delimiter. Comma can be the delimiter, hyphen can be the delimiter, slash can be the delimiter. So it's just not just only comma. So I'll close this now, and let's go and load this data into our Power Query. So to load in another file from a different data source, just come to your new query group, and you see different commands here: new source, recent sources. Do you want to enter data? So this enter data means, do you want to enter data directly into Power Query, or consider one recent sources? It means from that same folder you drew this from, this Excel file from, you also want to get files from it. So if I click on recent sources, it will show me, all the sources I've worked with, I've drew data from. But I won't click on recent sources. I want to get data from new source. So I'll hit file, then come here and select text/CSV. So text/CSV, you can see showing me all the text files here and all the CSV file. If it's not showing you all the files you want, maybe by mistake, instead of clicking on text/CSV, you clicked on Microsoft Excel, you can always click on this drop down and hit all files, so to show you all the files that are here. But since it's text/CSV, we are still on the right track. Now select this data modeling, and I'll import the data into Power Query. So waiting for it. Then you have this data modeling.csv. This dialog box appears. So it's telling you this is your data and this is the kind of delimiter. So by automatically, Microsoft Excel Power Query will help you, note the kind of delimiter that is separating your data. And if it's not, if you've checked and it's not comma, you can now choose the one, specify the type of delimiter separating your data. If it's colon or equal sign or semicolon, or you can choose, specify what type of delimiter is separating your data. Then it's telling you the data type detection. You're currently seeing this based on the first 200 rows, although this data here is just 50 rows. So if you have millions of data, if you want to show it based on entire data set, it would. If you want to show it based on first 200, it would. So I'll just click on OK. Then it loads my data in. I have this. So let me just name this. Let me just add CSV to it to differentiate it from other ones. So another way, again, I told us you can enter data directly into Power Query. So let's click on this and see here in the new query, the enter data. So I want to enter, you can enter data, you can change the name, give it, let's say I'll just give it first name. So you can enter data directly, first name, and I'll type in my name, Blessing Ibrahim. Then to add new column plus, then last name. Oh, look at me, first name. Or let's just leave it at name. Okay. That is our first name. The column name is not valid. So I'll type in what else? Email, my email, and I'll iblessing592@gmail.com. Then plus sign, I want to add my skills and rename this. So you can enter data into Power Query by manually typing it in. Skill, let's just put let's give it problem solving. So You can type in data, and I can just rename this to maybe blessing detail, blessings details, then I'll hit OK. So that data will be loaded into, can see it here, how to load your data in by typing it manually. So another way of importing data, let's look at, if you have a data on the web and you want to import it into Power Query. So what I have to do, let's say I want to import data on the world's population and it's on Wikipedia. So all I have to do is just come here, hit on new source. First, let's go online. So I'm going online now. I'll type in world's population. Then I'll scroll down to where Wikipedia is. Then I'll click on Wikipedia. Scrolling down, I get to see, so let's say I want to just draw the data for current world population and latest projection according to UN. Just this data. We have different other data too, but I only want to work with this. So all I have to do is just copy the URL, highlight it, Ctrl+C to copy, then go back to my Power Query in Microsoft Excel, hit the new source drop down button. Then where I want to get data from is from other sources from the web. So I'll click on web. So this dialog box pops up from the web. I'll paste in, Ctrl+V to paste in the URL I copied, then hit OK. So it's creating connection between Power Query here and the data out there on the web. So I have this, waiting for the data to be loaded in here. Can you see the data? Then you can just preview to see what it looks like, to know the one I want to pick. Current word, this is the one I want to work with. So I'll just hit the button, check this box for you to select it, then check this current word population, then I'll hit OK. So can you see that the data has been loaded into Power Query? This is how you get data from the web. So what if I want to get data? You're working with a company and they save most of the data on the cloud. So of course they have their database on the cloud. They would have given you their login details, the server name, the database name, so that you can access the data you want to analyze there. To do that, same thing, come to new source. What you're working with is from a database. The data is on database. So let's say SQL Server. So I don't have a login details to any database to work with here, but I'm going to just connect to the database on my own system. So let me just, I have copy this, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V to paste it, and I'll just type in the name, Adventure Works. Then I'll hit OK. So it loads all the data I have in my database out. So I'll check this box for me to select, scroll down to, I can just select, I can check in, check all the data into Power Query. So let me just check only the dim customer details here. Just dim customer details. Just this. So let me load this in and see your data. Then OK. So can you see I have this getting the data from the database on my system? So if your company has a database online, they can give you the login details, the server name, the database name, and you can just connect the data there on cloud and just run your analysis here using Microsoft Excel. Alright, another way we can import data into Power Query is, let's say there's something called M language would get there very soon, where someone already transformed your data or a query Then you just copy the whole transformation that has been done, copy everything, then you can use it on another data set. So let's say I want to just create a blank query. I'm going to come here, click on new source, then other sources, come here to blank query. Blank query, this is blank query. So for me to paste, I'll just click on advanced editor here in this query group. Here, query group. I'll clear all this. Clear. Then come here, I have a, let me just open a file that has blank query. So I'm going to open this. So I'll copy this, Ctrl+C to copy, then paste it here in my blank query. Ctrl+V to paste, and you can see here no syntax error have been detected. Hit done, and voila, here I have some set of data populated. So let's check out the code. For you might have error when you try to get the kind of result I get, and the reason is because if you look at the file path, this is telling you that the data set here used for this transformation is on my system. It's telling you the folder it's from and where it is. The file path is on my system. This is why you will get error if you try to use this query, this code here, is because you don't have the same data, or the file path is different. So all you have to do is just, I would send you the data set. All you have to do is just copy the file path where that data set is on your system and paste it here, so that way you can get the kind of results I get. When we get to M language, you understand better how this works, this advanced editor, how it works. So just hit done. The last method I'll be showing us is how we can get data from a PDF. So let's check out this data set. This data, it's in a PDF. This PDF contains 2023 world population data. So the data I want to extract from this PDF is the world, this world population data set. This is what I want to extract from this PDF. So I'll go back to Power Query, then as usual, go to the new query group, then hit the drop down button beside new source, then I want to get data from a PDF. So I'll select the PDF I want to work with and import it. Then you have your navigator trying to connect to the data. So wait for it to load in all the data that's in that PDF. So it's taking time, I guess, because the details are much. So yeah, all the details here they're populated. So let's preview all the data and see to look for the one you want to load into Power Query. So yeah, I think this is the one I want to load into Power Query. The world population to show the more developed, less developed, and the these are the data. This is data I want to import in. So I'll just hit okay. We have other data. All the data from that PDF has been extracted, so you can see them here. You would see them here. But the data I want to work with is just this one, this table. For you to select, make sure this box is checked. Select multiple items and check the box you want to import into Power Query, and I'll hit OK. So it would load the data in, and you can see the data. It needs a lot of transformation now. You have to transform it, do some cleaning for it to be ready for analysis. This is how you import data, different files from different sources. I just showed us how to import data from a folder, files from your system, from the web, a CSV file, how to get data from database, how to just input codes on a blank query to populate data, and also how to get data from a PDF. So I hope you've been able to get one or two on how to import data into Power Query in Microsoft Excel. We'll continue in our next video. You see how we will transform this data into data ready for analysis. See you. Do well to like, share to those that need to watch this, those that need this knowledge. And if you are joining or visiting my page, my channel for the first time, do well to hit the subscribe button so as not to miss out for the videos that will be coming next after this. See you. Bye.